actually. It's like the path.
But in Greece nowadays you find Aio Dimitriodos.
What
It's
is
the
that?
name of the street. It's the name of the street. It's Odos on the side in Greek.
Yeah, it can also, so it can also mean street. Yeah? That makes sense.
Allora, abbiamo con noi Patrick che è appena tornato 2 giorni fa, lui è stato a Roma lavorando per un po' di tempo perché stava facendo un dottorato sul camminare e aveva scelto tra le varie cose di studiare l'archivio di Stalker. Quindi è stato qui un periodo e ha avuto l'ardire di mischiarsi in tutte le carte dell'archivio e ha scoperto tante cose. Poi adesso, dopo quell'esperienza, ha deciso di provare il concorso, la call per l'istituto svizzero a Roma e per fortuna è passato. Quindi Patrick è appena arrivati e sarete qui fino a giugno dell'anno prossimo e abbiamo chiesto subito di venire all'interno del master a raccontare un po' questo che ci racconterai, questa relazione col camminare, con la città, con gli spazi vuoti, che forse si riferisce all'esperienza che stiamo facendo questi giorni. In inglese.
Thank you. Yeah.
Inglese, no? Sì.
I mean, yeah. Thank you, Julia, for this introduction. Yeah, we just arrived like 2 days ago, and my aim is also to not only to immerse myself in the Roman territory.
Forse vieni un po' più vicino.
No, forse veniamo. Io posso anche mettere più.
La voce poi si spiega.
Alright, you can come closer, yeah.
Prendi pure l'acqua forse.
So, yeah, I try to raise my voice. I don't have a loud voice. So I wanted to say, me and also my partner Stasha, we are not only here to immerse ourselves in the Roman territories, but also in the language. So but for now, still I have a basic knowledge, so I will still talk in English. But I heard that you are perfectly fluent, so you actually speak better English than myself, so this is not a problem. So I'm an art historian, not an architect, but I work at the architectural faculty at the Politecnico di Zurigo, at the chair of Christoph Schiro, and so the main focus of my research is actually Stalker or Stalker, and and I guess every one of you has some kind of understanding of stalkers, since I saw that Julia also uploaded the manifesto, and so what I'm looking at is on one. Is this actually, or I will ask that later. So I want to look at the practice of Stalker in the context of different artistic traditions that they appropriated, especially performance art or land art from the 1960s, 70s. But then I also want to look at Stalker as an educational program, because it's actually interesting how they emerged from the students' revolt, La Pantera, where they revolted against also the curriculum of the architectural faculty, and in the end, as you can see now, they created their own educational programs. This is not officially a program of Stalker.
Yes,
it's like. But Stalker is somehow, without Stalker it wouldn't, this master wouldn't exist. It's officially.
No, this session of this workshop of the master, it's Stalker.
This is Stalker, okay. But also this master program wouldn't exist without Stalker, you could say.
We don't have to say that.
Okay, I'm saying that. Yes, so I'm showing you here a picture of the early stalker from 1997, where they did this walk in Paris. And the more current one, the one on the right, is actually from Arti Civiche last June, where I also participated. But I'm not going to talk about this today, but about something similar. And I wanted to take this opportunity to, since I'm coming from Zurich to Rome, to sort of conclude the teaching that I did in Zurich. And over 3 years we did this trilogy that was also connected to walking and to the existing path systems, urban paths, and also how to manipulate these paths and how to find new ways to deal with this, with existing streets as a pedestrian. So, like the first one from 2017 was about the Labyrinth and this sort of ongoing fascination that we have about the Labyrinth. The second one was about getting lost in the city. That was 2018 and for 2018. And for this one, we actually, me and my colleagues, invited Stalker to Zurich. That's how we met. And the third one was about the question how to intentionally make a detour through the city. I will talk about this at the end in more detail. But I gave this talk the title Odology, and this term derives from Greek, from hodos, which means path, percorso, and logos, which has many meanings, among them speech or discourse. And the first one who actually, to my knowledge, used this term was the German psychologist Kurt Lewin, who used the term Odologischer Raum, ontological space, which was basically a phenomenological understanding of space, in contrast to a geometrical space, Euclidean space. But much more prominent, or actually really popular, got, at least to my knowledge, was the term used by J.B. Jackson. I don't know, does anyone know J.B. Jackson? John Brincroft Jackson? This is not okay. That's an American cultural geographer who has written a lot of essays on landscape, but specifically on the American landscape. And he terms it the science of roads, or also the science of paths. And so, in his understanding, a path or a road is not only something like a connection that connects point A and point B, but the road or the path itself is a place that has a specific meaning. So, to elaborate on this, let's think about how paths come into being, and what I'm personally fascinated with are informal paths. I'm giving you this example, which is a local one from Villa Pamphili that I took last year, and I actually took it first because it's so symmetrical, so straight, and it reminded me of a line made by walking, this artwork by Richard Long, thank you, which was of course a very conceptual one, and this is not conceptual at all, but has a very functional meaning. So at some point, someone decided to just cross through the lawn, and then people followed, and for some reason, and at some point, this informal path became more and more formal in a way. And yeah, I also like how in the end it has this slight deviation, so it's not perfectly perfectly straight, and you can just ask yourself, why is that? Is it? But then there is also this nice passage by the city historian Louis Mumford, and he says that you can never walk a straight line. You actually always have a slight deviation, so you always walk a curve, and you can experience this when you walk through snow. So you try to walk a direct line, but then you look back and it's slightly curved. I've never tried this, but he might be right, because also probably we don't have like perfectly symmetrical legs. So this is an example